Well, so my name's Minter Dial and I run the Mindset, and glad to be down in Cluj, Romania, in the heart of Transylvania. Today I was talking about what you need to do in order to effectively use all these new technologies for your business. And the challenge that most businesses are having is that they're running after the dollar, or the lira, as we have here. And we don't have enough time to think about what we need to do. And the trick, or the issue, is that a lot of these new technologies we've never faced before. And it's very possible that we will be faced with some ethical conundrums. For example, when we use artificial intelligence, is it okay to fire everybody and just exchange it for artificial intelligence? Is that how you want to run your business? How does that make your employees feel? And it is one of my fundamental beliefs that you need to figure out how to get employee engagement in order to drive your business and get that customer engagement. Because at the end of the day, it's your employees who are typing on the social media, inputting the code into your site, and they need to feel totally engaged and believe in what you're doing. All right, so I think so what do we want to give to our customers in online e-commerce sites? Well, I think it's about value exchange. So of course you're giving a product, but at the end of the day you need to create some kind of relationship so they trust you. If you're selling e-commerce where you have your own product, it's one thing. Then you need to create your own brand and create a specific relationship where they're prepared to give you their data. And then in exchange you're going to share about their brand, and your brand is going to help them define themselves, make them feel better and more meaningful in their days. If on the other hand your e-commerce is selling brands which are sold available elsewhere, then the real question is, what's your point of difference? And there you need to create another type of relationship where, for example, you're creating content that says to the person who's receiving it, "Oh my God, thank you for sending me this email." And if you can create that feeling of a valuable exchange, then you're creating trust, and that's going to give you a better shot of getting better conversions, better click-throughs, and all these other things we're looking for. But the question is, which do you put first? Do you focus on click-through and performance, return on investment, or installing a beautiful, trustworthy relationship in advance? All right, so the question is, how can one use big data in e-commerce to be effective? In the end of the day, the first thing you need to know is that more data is better than less data. It's rather have an enormous amount of data and a less good, less rigorous, or robust infrastructure to evaluate it than little data and an excellent tool. Second point, of course, the challenge is getting all the data such that they're trusting you with it. And I think you need to build up the trust. So don't ask for a lot of data right away until you've established a relationship. When it comes to data, there's a second big issue, and that is, how do you store it? Because if you give me the information and I use it effectively, I show value in the way I use it for you, so I give you a really pertinent exchange, then the second question is, how am I keeping it so that it doesn't get stolen? Because that's another big issue. So there's a lot of questions with regard to it. But the first point is, get the data, then figure out what are the important questions you need to ask it so that I can give to you valuable, pertinent information that's relevant to you. And thirdly, think about how you store it so it's secure. Well, I think the future of e-commerce is extremely bright. There's no doubt that people like it. It's what the consumers want. Even in B2B, I think you should be, if you're in B2B, there are opportunities for it. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't have offline presence. In fact, I think there is a future for online to be more offline, and think about how you create experiences, events, in order to render more real your brand. And again, there's 2 points. One is you are a wholesaler, or you're a brand doing your own e-commerce. And it's very different gigs and games that we're playing here. In any event, the future is bright. I think that we really need to understand that there's a lot of mistrust out there. People are very quick to click off. Loyalty is hard to earn. And e-commerce sites would do well to put themselves more in the shoes of customers and think about how they react when they receive an obnoxious email for the 16th time, feels like spam, and all I want to do is unsubscribe. They don't even have an easy opt-out unsubscribe button. All right, so TeCOMM 2017 in Cluj. Well, I got here last night. I had a great time here, and I see a couple of things. First of all, there's an extreme dynamism amongst the people, and even the person who picked me up at the airport offered me immediately access, tether it to Wi-Fi, and that's a wonderful signal of how important and how really understanding they are about the importance of technology. Then, secondly, I went to a lovely coffee shop and met a lot of interesting people. So I feel like there's a good crowd here. That's really a first level. Secondly, about the crowd, I enjoyed the fact that we start off with a stand-up comedian. I think it's important to laugh, smile, and feel engaged. Obviously, a great line of speakers, and yeah, it's obviously a market in the world that is important because of the number of coders and technologists. I mean, I understand that in Cluj, there are 40,000 people who are involved in IT out of the 500,000 that live here. So obviously, we're in a hotbed of tech.